executive officers of our association. Our agenda for the meeting: accreditation, chairman's statement, secretary's report, treasurer's report, matters arising for reports, any other business, dissolution of the executives, election of officers, and inauguration of the new executive. So before the report, maybe we'll take minutes of the last annual general meeting. So I'll call the secretary to go ahead and read this.
Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon, the Provost College of Medicine and the immediate past Deputy Provost College of Medicine. Good afternoon, Chairman and ESCO, Executive Council of the Alumni Association. I'm here to present the minutes of the last annual general meeting of the Alumni Association. I'm going to quickly run through it. The meeting held at this Alumni Center on the 1st of February 2019. The meeting was called to order at 3:05 p.m. by the Chairman, Dr. Honorable Adeyeye, with the invitation of the Provost, the then Provost, Professor A.A, and the Deputy Provost with us today, Professor A.A, as well as other members of the Alumni Executive to the high table. Opening prayer was said by Professor Richard Adewale, after which there was accreditation. The Chairman's opening remarks was from the Physiotherapy Department building by Sir Olu Okewo, a philanthropist, which was commissioned in October 2018. He also thanked Professor Drosimieti and Professor Oladapo Ashiru for their efforts in organizing and raising money through the MEDILAG Alumni Black Tie Dinner. He appreciated Dr. Oremosu in the United States of America, who has championed the cause of dental chairs, especially through Floor Mills Nigeria PLC. He stated that the CMUL will soon have Wi-Fi all over the compound, except in the classrooms and theater. He charged the alumni to have its own building. Minutes of the previous AGM was read by the Secretary, Dr. U.A.C. Okafor. Motion for adoption was moved by Professor S.R.A. and seconded by Dr. R.S. Okpade. Secretarial report was also presented by the Secretary, while Treasurer's report was given by Dr. Ogunjimi. Professor Akimbo appreciated the Provost appreciated the Secretary and Treasurer for a comprehensive report. He suggested a way to raise alumni funds by asking various alumni sets to pay their dues in bulk rather than individually. He also suggested that alumni can hire a staff and pay him based on income generated. He further suggested that the alumni can target sets who come to give back to the college. The Chairman explained that the set dues will be adopted and the idea will be discussed on the Alumni Coordinators platform. He also explained that while College of Medicine inductees pay 2,000 naira, 1,000 is remitted to the University of Lagos Alumni Association, ACOCA. Dr. George Uchendo appreciated the executives for a successful tenure and suggested improved branding and use of social media to put the association on the world map. He suggested that meetings should be more regular. He applauded the quality of the photo frames given to his set as induction ceremonies, as induction souvenirs during induction, but complained that his set has not received the CDs and hope something can be done about it as they have already paid for it. The chairman appreciated Dr. Uchendu for this, for his detailed contribution, and stated that young people like him should be in the new school. He also apologized to him for, and he said, and promised that something would be done about it. At this point, the chairman thanked everyone for their presence, especially Professor Ashiru, for his contributions to the alumni fundraising dinner project. The chairman dissolved the executive team and handed over to the provost to conduct elections for new executives. All outgoing executives were nominated for a second term, except for the assistant secretary positions, which had new nominations of another set of young alumni representing different programs. All the nominations were seconded by the House to form a new executive council as follows. Chairman, Honorable Dr. Ajibayo Adeyeye. Vice Chairman, Dr. U.A.C. General Secretary, Dr. U.A.C. Okafor. Treasurer, Dr. Ogunjimi. Finance Secretary, Dr. D.O. Odebi. Social Secretary / Publicity, Dr. Kehinde Okwade. Assistant Secretaries for different programs as follows. Dr. George Uchendu, Assistant Secretary MBBS. Dr. Leo Olagbaye Afesobi, Assistant Secretary BDS. Physiotherapist Benita Obije, Assistant Secretary Physiotherapy. Ex-officio Professor Adefule Oshitelu and Professor Kehinde, who were previously Chairman and Secretary respectively of the Alumni Association. It was decided that the assistant secretaries for other departments should be sorted out by the incoming expert. The provost suggested that the executive should ensure that the alumni appoints trustees from the major professors and professions according to the constitution. The provost thereafter announced the new ESCO and invited them back to the high table. The chairman, Dr. Adeyeye, thanked everyone for re-electing his team for a second term. Professor Ashiru briefed the House about plans for the MEDILAG Alumni High Table Dinner, which was scheduled to hold the following day, that being 2nd of February 2019. Motion for adjournment was moved by Dr. George Uchendu and seconded by Dr. Alabi. Closing prayer was said by Dr. Clement Oluwarotimi. Signed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, the Secretary, Dr. U.A.C. Let's just adopt the minutes. I don't know if there is anybody that was at the last AGM here. Yes, thank you, Deputy Provost, and seconded by Dr. Ogunjimi. She was there. Thank you. Welcome the Vice Chairman of our association, Dr. U.A.C. I don't know if, Secretary, do you want to go straight to the Secretary's report before we take the Treasurer's report? Maybe we'll quickly take Secretary's report.
Thank you very much. Once again, the Provost and immediate past Deputy Provost, Chairman and the EXCO, members of the Alumni Association. I am here to take the report, Secretariat report, as presented by the Secretary. The Executive Council of the College of Medicine Alumni Association was elected on the 26th of November. I was elected in November 2016 and immediately swung into action. The composition of the Executive Council was unique, as for the first time, it constituted younger professionals from various programs in the college as Assistant Secretary General to ensure a broad-based alumni representation. The Executive Council held our inaugural meeting and first courtesy visit on the then Provost and now immediate past Deputy Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Professor F.T. Ogunjimi, and this was also followed by a visit to the new, then incoming Provost of the college, Professor A.A. on the 5th of December 2016. Since this ESCO came on board, which also coincided with the inception of Professor Leshi as the Provost of College of Medicine, many landmark events have been recorded, particularly in the area of alumni-driven projects, such as renovation and commissioning of several students' hostels and facilities, toilet facilities, among others. There are also many other projects which are too many to list here that were achieved during that time. On the countdown, over 20 of such give-back projects were recorded within the first 2 years of this ESCO. In spite of the year-long impact of the COVID-19 lockdown on the nation and globally, close to this number of donor projects was received from various alumni sets during the second term tenure of this executive, after it was re-elected on the 1st of February 2019. Please, can I ensure that everybody has a report? Okay, thank you. Some highlights. Some high points of the Alumni Association in 4 years tenure include creation of a comprehensive database of all alumni sets from 1962 to 2017, when this Executive Council took over. Setting up of Alumni Coordinators platform on WhatsApp, which has grown to be a forum for all alumni set representatives. Execution of colorful alumni induction ceremonies, provision of souvenirs for each alumni inductee, institution of alumni red carpets, which includes interview and photograph of all inductees in all programs in the college. Alumni chairman or representative plays the role to decorate all graduating alumni sets for each program with the alumni searches during each of those inductions. Attraction of over 4 million naira beautification and relaxation park project for the College of Medicine, which was built by the University of Lagos Alumni Association, which was commissioned sometime last year. That is the park you are looking at somewhere there as you enter the college gate. Remittance of College of Medicine alumni dues for 2015-16, 2016-17, 2017-18, and 2018-19 sessions to the University of Lagos Alumni Association. Successfully organized the first alumni high table dinner on the 2nd of February 2019 at the prestigious Oriental Hotel in Lekki. Successfully organized the second alumni high table dinner on 1st of February 2021. Influenced alumni set donations through hostel renovation. Influenced alumni set donations of dental chairs. Influenced alumni sets painting of entire college block building and beyond. Influenced alumni sets donations of 2 brand new buses. This was a recent project that was carried out by another alumni set. Influenced alumni set donations of microscopes and other teaching materials to the College of Medicine. Then finally, composition of the College of Medicine Alumni Board of Trustees, which is for formal inauguration soon. Other activities of this ESCO include effective integration and representation of the College of Medicine alumni in the executive and other alumni-related events of the University of Lagos Alumni Association, which include a night with 100 eminent Akokais at the Alumni Center, Akoka, National ESCO meeting of MEDILAG Alumni Association, regular representation of at alumni convocation, MEDILAG alumni convocation reception, Lagos State Chapter Alumni Week held lecture on strength management, Lagos State Chapter AGM, Alumni AGM 2017, Alumni MEDILAG Alumni 5 dinner, which was organized in Victoria Island sometimes, which had the Vice President of Nigeria in attendance. Major challenges of this expo include the unpredictable Nigerian state and economy, whereby it's difficult to plan projects and activities. Another is the poor remittance of alumni dues by members, poor commitment on the part of members, especially home-based alumni. You and I can see that even with a month advertisement in national newspaper, WhatsApp, everything, you can see the attendance today. At least physical attendance is not too good, even though we know some people joined us online. So these are part of the challenges we're having. Poor commitment on the part of the alumni, especially the home-based alumni. Appreciation. The Executive Council appreciates our new alumnus provost, Professor A.A, who has found time out of his busy schedule. I know that this morning he has gone for a meeting in Ankoka and about going for another again. We thank Professor A.A for finding time to be here with us. Also, the Deputy Provost, Professor O.A.T. Ebwehi, the immediate past Provost, Professor F.E.A. who, though he's not here, but I won't be surprised if he comes here. He's so passionate about this alumni project. And also the immediate past Deputy Provost, Professor S.R.A. Akimbo, who was one of the first people to arrive this venue today. We appreciate you, Prof, for your commitment. Many thanks to our dear erudite teachers and passionate alumni, Professor Oladapo Ashiru and Professor Durosimi Eti, among others, for their belief and vigor on the alumni fundraising dinner, which has raised several millions of naira for the college. Our special thanks to the alumni set coordinators and the entire alumni of the College of Medicine for their great ambassadors, or for being great ambassadors of the college and the university in their various domains and endeavors. Special thanks to those who joined the AGM physically and also for those who joined us virtually. Can we put our hands together for all of us, those present physically and those present virtually? Today, after 2 tenures of 4 years of service as Executive Council of the College of Medicine Alumni Association, we look forward to an election that will usher in a new set of committed leadership of the association. As we prepare for this transition, we pray and plead for leaders who shall work even harder than this outgoing Executive Council to better the position of the association. Long live the College of Medicine, University of Lagos Alumni Association, and the University of Lagos Alumni Association. Long live the College of Medicine, University of Lagos, and UNILAG. Long live Nigeria. Together, we shall take our dear alma mater to a greater height. Thank you all. Signed, the Secretary. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. U.A.C. Okafor, for the brilliant and very lucid report of what had transpired in the last 4 years. I don't know, Treasurer, are you ready? Or will you go on? Are you ready for your presentation? Okay, so we quickly move on to the Treasurer's report. Dr. Ogunjimi. I think you should find a space up here. Or with the cameraman see you. It's important because of those of us that are online. But let me quickly say that these reports will be transmitted online. We'll send it to everybody that attended or signified interest to attend this meeting. We'll also put it on all the platforms, so you get all the reports after the meeting. Dr. Ogunjimi. Yeah. Oh, you have a mic for her?
Standing on existing protocol, good afternoon, everybody, members of the high table. And I'm Dr. Ogunjimi, and I will be presenting the financial report for the alumni. Okay. So can I go to 2018? Okay, so we have a summary here, but the Excel sheet is expanded. So this report was as at March this year. The expenses for between March and planning for the AGM are not included in this report. Okay, so in 2018, what I did was to try and explain how we got the income and what the expenses have been for each month from 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021. 2021 is not so extensive though. So for 2018, the mode of income for the alumni. Okay. The mode of income for the alumni was basically via alumni dues by the outgoing students. We didn't have a lot of alumni paying their dues, so we were just able to get income through medical students who are graduating. And we also try to do something for them in return and to introduce them to the alumni as well. That's to stimulate their interest in the alumni. So for 2018, the mode of income was in January, as at March 2018, we were able to get 292,500, and the charges on the expenses. Now the expenses were so if you look at it, majorly you will have induction expenses as our major expense, and that's because during the induction of the medical students, we try to ensure that we make plaques for them, we video their induction and give them a CD so that they can have something to take for, and then also we have the alumni stand where they take pictures as well, and we'll put all this together and give it to them. So the major expenses were for the plaques for the students, the CDs, and then the ushers as well that contributed. So we have a summary. Please can you go to the summary? So for each of the years, you have this for each of the years. So I'll just summarize. In 2018, our total expense was 1.7. Our total expense was 1.7, and the total income was 2.7. Like I said, majorly from the medical students who are graduating, and the expenses were majorly the plaques being given to them and the ushering jobs being done. In 2019, we had a total income of 2.5, rounding up to 2.5, and our expenses were 1.6. And in 2020, we had a total income of 2.7, the expenses were 1.3, and in 2021, we had a total income of 3.3. Now, the expenses for 2021, as at the time we got the bank statement, which was in March, we hadn't had any expense. However, we had some pending things that we needed to pay for. For example, we had to, in preparation for the AGM, we have to pay for the punch adverts. Then we had to get souvenirs, the secretarial expenses. Then we had a pledge to the College of Medicine to donate 500,000 to assist in getting the bus. That we have remitted in check form. So because all this were paid in check form, they did not appear on time on these bank statements. Then also we had to remit our dues to MEDILAG for 2018, 2019 students, and 2019 for 2017 to 2018 and 2019 to 2020 students. All these are broken down in the reports. So as of March, we had a total of 3.4 M. But by the time we had paid for all this, it had come down, so we had paid out 1.9. So that's what we have for the report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ogunjimi. You can see how lean our pulse has been from that presentation. I think yes, maybe okay.
Hello? Yeah, the provost and the chairman. Thank you so much for the presentation. But for the sake of clarity, please, looking at the document you presented, what we have there is MEDILAG Alumni. 4 years, please.
Please correct
CMUL,
that.
please.
CMUL, we've been
For
trying
clarity,
to correct.
please.
Thank you very much.
And also the second one here. The last column, talking about surplus and deficit, they are not the same. I know you are a medical doctor, you're an accountant, and you're not an accountant, but for clarity, I think it's important for us to know what you mean by surplus and deficit, for clarity. Because at the end of the day, this will go into the archives. And for the incoming executive, clarity is important for us to know what you have there. Thank you.
Maybe we should change that surplus from deficit to balance. Let's use the word balance, please, so that there won't be any ambiguity. Dr. Messi.
Thank you very much, Chairman. For accounting purposes, if there is a deficit, there will be a minus sign, negative sign in front of the figures. So I think this is still in order. Yeah. And that gives a clearer picture. But if you want to use balance, that's also okay.
Go on, go on.
Okay, thank you very much for the comments and the clarifications and the corrections. Yes, I'm sorry about the MEDILAG we put here. It was supposed to be CMUL. And then also the surplus deficit is actually the total. So as at 2018, the total that we ended up with in the account was 1.7. And you can see that that was the balance brought forward in 2019. And then the expenses and the income. And as at 2019, the total we had left in the account as at December 2019 was 2.7. That was the balance brought forward in 2020. Then the income and the expenses as at 2020, the total we had left in the account was 3.3. And that was the balance brought forward in 2021. However, in 2021, this was the report as of March when this was being prepared. We had some expenses just in the last few months because we needed to remit some of those dues that we had not paid, and those ones were not included in this report. So this report was as of March 2021.
Okay. So I think it's better we also add to the report that is CMUL Alumni 4-year financial report as at March 2021. Yeah. Thank you. I hope you are monitoring online. Maybe there is anybody that wanted to. Is anybody seeing anything? I hope nobody is raising his hand or something. Oh, okay. They're not seeing us online. They're still seeing the backdrop. So make it possible to see what we are doing online, please. I hope you understand the host. Because we are sitting here we know they cannot see us online, so make sure that they are seeing us online. That is the treasurer's report. I think we'll go straight on to the chairman's report. Unfortunately for me, I did not get this here at this time because somebody was supposed to bring it, he never showed up, so I have to read from my long hand. But I promise you get my report online immediately after the meeting. We thank God for making it possible for us today to hold this annual general meeting. It has been 4 long years of holding forth as chairman of the CMUL Alumni Association. We started out by appointing assistant secretaries to represent all disciplines in the college. Our first task was to stimulate the teaming members of the CMUL alumni and get them interested in the development of our alma mater. This was a tough task since we didn't have a database of all alumni of the college, particularly those that graduated before the advent of mobile phones and internet. We have, however, succeeded in creating a credible database with phone numbers and emails of members of the CMUL alumni, with the exception of a few. We hope the incoming executives will build on this. We succeeded at getting most sets to form themselves into groups, and there is a platform for all the coordinators of the various sets of the College of Medicine, University of Lagos, through which we communicate the activities of the association. I'm glad to report that the various sets are active by themselves, and many sets hold reunions both in Nigeria and some hold theirs outside the country. I seize this opportunity to thank the various sets that have donated various projects to our alma mater. The projects range from various levels of renovation at the medical students hostel, donation of dental chairs when the accreditation of our dental school was suspended. Some sets also donated books to the library, while some renovated the lecture theatres. While thanking all the various sets, I must particularly thank members of my set, the 1991 MBBS BDS set, who started the renovation of the hostels by renovating toilets, bathrooms, and kitchenettes in 4 blocks of the medical students hostel, and spent about 50 million naira. Immediately we took over, and the report of immediately we took over and we got the report that students were already bathing outside the toilets, and the toilets were not functional. We also rejuvenated the CMUL fundraising dinner by making it a yearly event to raise funds for the development of the college. The fundraising dinner was named the Alumni High Table Dinner, and 2 editions have been held. The organizing committee was chaired by our renowned Professor Oladapo Ashiru, who performed excellently well and ensured the success of the 2 events by raising several millions of naira. Please, let's give him a hand. The third edition of the Alumni High Table Dinner could not hold in February 2020 because of the problems of the third edition could not hold this year, February 2021, because of the problems of COVID and lockdown here and there. But I'm sure by the grace of God, the 2022 edition of the High Table Dinner will hold. COVID-19 stole the whole of 2020 from us. We could not function. In fact, this expo was supposed to have handed over February this year. We kept shifting it and looking for it. It's finally holding today. We had to tarry to allow for an auspicious time to hold the AGM. Finance. The association is not very buoyant, as we can see from the Treasurer's report. This is because members have not been paying their annual dues. Only graduating students pay their annual dues because it was made part of the criteria for clearance in the college. Hence, the little funds left for running the association is the balance after paying the dues of the central body at the University of Lagos. I will therefore implore the incoming Executive Council to improve on the drive to get alumni to pay their dues to the association. Administration. Up till now, the Alumni Association is run on part-time basis by the college staff as alumni relation officer. The ESCO attempted to recruit a staff for the association, but we were limited by funding. In order to quickly move the association forward, there is a need for a full-time officer who will run the affairs of the association from day to day. I will therefore be imploring the incoming ESCO to see this as a priority. We may have to rely on the funds from the endowment to pay the staff for the first year. It is my belief that the staff will generate more than enough to pay their salaries and emolument and also have a good balance for the association to run with. Board of Trustees. There is a need for the establishment of the College of Medicine Endowment Fund. This need became paramount during our tenure to drive developmental activities in the college. Monies have been raised from the Alumni High Table Dinner, and we hope more money will still be raised in the coming years. To this end, the ESCO approved a list of Board of Trustees to manage the endowment fund. The list cuts across the various disciplines in the college and the various generations too. I will be presenting that list to this gathering shortly for the approval too of the AGM, so that after this AGM, letters can be written by the incoming ESCO to the Board of Trustees, and the process of establishing the College of Medicine Endowment Fund can start in earnest. Finally, I hereby wish to thank the immediate past Provost, Professor A.A. and Deputy Provost, Professor Sunday Akimbo, for their unflinching support and passion for the development of the college. I thank my colleagues at the Executive Council for their commitment and support. I thank all the various sets, the various set coordinators, and thank all the alumni members who donated generously to the various projects in the college. Thank you, and God bless. Before we listen to the provost, I will want us to now take comments, if any, on all the reports. When you want to speak, mention your name, probably your set, and tell us which report you are commenting on. Then maybe whoever gave the report will react. Yes.
Hello, all protocol duly observed. My name is Akinola Isaac, Physiotherapy 2013 set. I'm holding the Secretariat report and on some high points of the Alumni Association in the 4 years tenure. Number 10 stated that the second Alumni High Table Dinner was successfully organized, and that kind of contradicted what the chairman said, that that could not hold, and because of, especially that date, 1st of February 2021, that it was not held. So I need the clarification.
Yes, it was not held in 2021, but it was held in 2020 and 2019. The first one held at the Oriental Hotels, and the second one held at the Chinese restaurant near the lagoon. I've forgotten the name in Lekki. What's the name of the Chinese restaurant? Twin Towers, somewhere in Lekki. So it's 2021 we did not hold.
Okay, the date should be 2020. Okay.
Yes,
Thank
so
you.
just change that.
Thank you very much.
It was just shortly after that the lockdown started.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
The provost and the executive, I align with the other protocol. I was there at the beginning of this executive, and I know the state of the association then. It was moribund, no activities, and then I know what the provost then, Professor Leshe, and myself did to bring up this executive. It would be nice not to appreciate all of them for what they have done. Within the 4 years, you can see what they have done, and many were not even mentioned. At Akoka, the whole of the university now know that the College of Medicine have an alumni association. And because of that, even people outside the country were so happy that yes, we are coming up. So the chairman, sir, the immediate past commissioner of health in Ondo State, my state, I want to appreciate you for all your effort. We have taken a lot from you. Your time, your resources, your money, your connection. I want to so much appreciate you. And the other executive, I'm going to suggest that the report, that of the chairman, the secretary, and the treasurer should be kept in the archives. Provost, sir, I'm going to suggest, sir, this alumni must not die. I know you, sir. I know the type of person you are, your pedigrees and what have you. During this your tenure, sir, the Alumni Association must move to the next level. It must not die. This association must not die. It must not die. Again, I want to appreciate the chairman and all the other executive. I want to wish you all the best in your future endeavor, but please do not leave this association. You are still part of this association. Thank you and God bless you.
Yes, Doctor.
Good afternoon, the Provost and the National Chairman. All other protocols duly observed. My name is Dr. Akim Onosoya, 2015 EDS. I have the following comments and recommendations. One, the reports that have been read, just like Professor Akimbo noted, they have to be moved to the archive for subsequent generations to access them. But I feel that before that is done, they need to be approved by this general meeting, which shows that everything there is correct. For example, the financial report cannot be approved until the expenses of this AGM is included. The General Secretary's report cannot be approved until the mistakes are corrected. So I think that should be included so that whatever is in the archives, nobody will be there in 20 years' time to tell them that a mistake was, an amendment was done when they were not even born at that time. The second thing I would like to say is to appreciate the fact that the database that you worked on, it is a gold mine. But my question is, I hope it is going to be properly utilized. Because while I came into the building today, I went to my faculty, and most of my colleagues were not aware that there is a general meeting. They looked at me like overstudied, me coming from my work in Lagos State to come for an alumni meeting. And I've said, you are resident here, we are officers here, and you're not even aware. So I feel that we should be a recommendation to the next executive to ensure that constant email blasts, constant SMS blasts should be done to these people so that highest, you receive an SMS or an email once or twice from the alumni. That is the only way they would be even gingered to want to pay their alumni donations because they feel that they are being talked to and they are being catered for. The next recommendation is, I don't know if the association had any alumni visitations, because I know that sometimes these notable alumni across the country would sometimes appreciate these visitations by the executives to them. And we can even use that to set up endowments in their name and say, because you have left here 50, 40 years ago, and we appreciate you, we can set up a scholarship for maybe the best graduating student in your name and the like. So those are my recommendations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. Any other comment? Okay, please, let's yield the floor to the Provost for his statement.
The indefatigable Chairman, Honorable Ajibayo Adeyeye, we've known one another for quite a while, and your pedigree leaves no other to wonder what kind of person you are. You have served in Lagos State as a member of House of Assembly. You served in Ondo State as Commissioner of Health, and you have other businesses which are affiliated to her. But most importantly to us, you proved to be a very, very active chairman of the alumnus. I also want to doff my cap to the other members of the ESCO, Dr. Ogunjimi, Dr. U.A.C. Okafor, Dr. Ogunjimi, for what you have done for the past 4 years. There is a catalog of events that have unfolded since you took over the mantle of the ESCO, and you have listed week when we had a visitation panel. They are still around from the federal government to see how they can assist us in the university. I took them round to the college, and 2 of the places we visited were actually had been sorted out by the Alumni Association. It was a big pride to me to take them to the dental center to show all the brand new dental chairs, and of course the hostel, just to show what you have done. And I was able to also show them as part of the hostel that got burnt recently. Let me thank you very much, because most of what is going on that is positive in the College of Medicine is through the auspices of the Alumni Association. So I really doff my hat twice, 3, 4 times to say that. And I will reassure you that the Alumni Association will not die. To make it clear, students' obligation pay an obligatory fee of 33,000 naira annually and 10,000 naira for electricity. You can now imagine how much that will get us, knowing the inflationary level state of this country. And over the past 4 years, a lot of the projects that have been carried out, in fact, most of them, if not all of them, had been through your expo. And I really thank you. I'll never stop saying thanks, because even when I was outside this environment, my leave of absence, I came in here often, once in a while, and I saw what the Alumni Association has been doing. I understand we have about over 8,000 members of the alumni, and we are only been in contact with just 2,500 of them. And you can imagine if we can extend our invitation and get support from 8,000 members of the alumni. You can imagine what that would mean. I would support the incoming ESCO to the best of my ability. In fact, myself and the chairman had a meeting where we were looking for people of caliber who would take over the mantle from him. We have experimented with 3 people, and we are hoping that they will accede to our request, although 1 or 2 of them has, knowing what Honorable Adeyeye has done, feels that the shoes is left behind is too big for their feet. But we will continue to look for somebody who will take over the near impossible job that the past chairman has done. Thank you once again. Just this month, yesterday I got a letter from the Vice Chancellor to represent him at an award. 2 indigent students were given scholarships, 1 300 level and 1 400 level by the foundation of an alumnus of this institution, Dr. Campbell, who resides in Ibadan. And I'm not sure he's part of the Alumni Association right now, but there are lots and lots of others who are out there within reach, and I think we need to spread our tentacles to get them in. I belong to 2 sets. Don't ask me how. It's not because I failed. I belong to 74, 79 and 75, 80 set, because I had to do one funny course in between my studentship. So I have every reason to wish you well, because I belong to the two alumni sets, although it's telling on my pocket, but we will continue to do what we can to ensure that we make progress in the university. Part of the discussion I had with the chairman was to improve our environment, improve our academic calendar, so that we can attract expatriate students who are coming from abroad, who will be ready to pay in foreign currency. I had hinted this to the Vice Chancellor, and he says he's already thinking along that line. In fact, there's a block in the university now that is a PG block, which is going to be really, really decent, one-room apartment that would attract people who are coming from abroad. And when they come, they will be ready to pay before the exchange. I hope we're able to get students, both medical, dental, physiotherapy from abroad who will willingly come to this country. We pray that the security situation in the country will improve, because that actually is part of the reason why a lot of people are not looking towards us at all. I will reassure you that from the energy I can see that the chairman has been expending, and he has infused me with some of it. We will try and get this alumni a bit more active. We would spread our tentacles. If I have to give you more staff and to give the alumni person here some incentives so that we can get across everybody. Our database will need to improve. Once we get a good database, we will probably get a lot of people interested. I will want to make a suggestion, because in my secondary school, we do, for the national body, what we do is to collect group. We collect money from the group rather than from individuals. We found it much easier to say, okay, 78, 79 sets, group, please, this is, how many are you? This is what we're expecting from you. Render it to the main body. I think that would be a bit more viable than to try and get every member. It's difficult to chase individuals, but as a group, since we have a very active group set in the alumni, it would probably be easier for us to achieve this. So on that note, because I have to go for an inaugural lecture, I thank you all. My door is open for anybody who wants to see me. Count on me, even if it's not for alumni reason, because we are brothers and we are sisters. But by the grace of God, this alumni would grow and grow beyond the reaches of everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. I want us to, I did say that the Expo approved a list of the Board of Trustees.
Yes, another thing I forgot to mention. Just assuming duty as provost, we had problems with electricity, power, and that's a problem that we have thought about since I came on board. We've thought about solar, we've thought about buying generators for each block. But we discovered that for us to process students' exams, we need to have regular light in the administrative block. So I engaged the chairman and Professor Ashiru, and we were able to get the sum of 10 million, which will go towards purchasing a 30 kV generator for the admin block and to repair the generator in the students' block. And I must recognize Professor Ashiru for his dynamism and his interest. And I hope we've had the okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You heard what the provost said. I mean, from the endowment fund was able to bring up, it's not Dr. Ajibayo Adeyeye's money. The endowment fund was able to give 10 million naira to solve a very serious problem in the college. And we are hoping that very soon, this endowment fund will grow to a level where they can support you in hundreds of millions. And it's not difficult. I mean, from over 8,000 healthcare professionals around the world, I don't see why we cannot have a very, very buoyant endowment fund. But to manage this, manage the endowment fund in such a way that everybody will be involved and everybody will know how the money is being spent. The ESCO approved a board of trustees. We need this for the new ESCO to go ahead and register the endowment fund as, a registered body with the Corporate Affairs Commission. They need to advertise. They need to advertise a list of board of trustees. And we have approved the list, which I want to read out to you and also get the AGM's approval to this list. Number one person will always be the provost, the serving provost of the College of Medicine, who is an alumnus of the college. And in this case, Professor A.A. Number two, we are proposing Professor Oladapo Ashiru as chairman of the board of trustees. And he has displayed in no small measure that he is capable of holding this office. Number three, Dr. Sonny Kuku, who was the former president of the University of Lagos Alumni, and he is also alumnus of this college. Professor Afolabi Leshi, Dr. Ajibayo Adeyeye, that's me. Dr. Kunle Hassan, I Foundation. Professor MC Isiekwe is dental, is BDS. Dr. DC Umesi is dental, another generation from Professor MC Isiekwe. Dr. Bode Karunwi is dental. Professor S.R.A. Akimbo is physiotherapy. Dr. Olumide Aderoba is physiotherapy. And I think it's diaspora. Yeah, it's diaspora. Dr. U.A.C. Okafor is physiotherapy. That's the present secretary. Professor A. Majekodumi is MBBS. That's the renowned ophthalmologist. Professor Ademola Oremosu. That's Professor Ademola Oremosu is seated here. Dr. Shade Disu and Professor Feyi Adegoke is physiology. Let me say that this list is not final. Anytime we feel we need to update it, the provost and the members of the executive council in consultation will decide and nominate other members of the board of trustees. But this will provide a ground to approve expenditure of our endowment fund in a way that our members will have the confidence to continually donate to this cause. So the ESCO has approved. Do I have the concurrence of the annual general meeting? Let those that approve say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So those are that's the list of our members of the board of trustees. The incoming ESCO will write them, and the lawyers that are putting together the endowment fund will also have some names to advertise that these are the members of the board of trustees. Like I say, we will always improve on it. So thank you, Provost, for waiting. You did mention that you were going to give us more staff. Yes, but I will be more comfortable with you encouraging the association to have a full-time staff that does nothing but the work of the College of Medicine Alumni Association. UNILAG has it, and that is why they've been able to go on. If you have people make phone calls to all these people, go and visit them, and it doesn't do anything other than that, I'm sure we'll have a better association in a very short while, and you will even have more money to employ more people. So I still want the incoming ESCO to look into this and make sure that this is the direction. The other thing you mentioned, sir, which we also thought of, and which I think is a very good way to ensure dues are paid. We might have to start levying sets. And the individuals, like in my set, it was not difficult for us to contribute almost 50 million naira amongst less than 130 of us. So if we levy that set 1 million naira, I'm sure they will not think twice to get it together. Likewise, all the other sets. So it's a very good suggestion you have made, sir, and I hope the incoming ESCO will look into this and maybe amend the constitution, because that's one of the problems we had. The constitution wanted the thing on an individual basis, that individuals should come and pay their dues. But I think we might have to amend the constitution to make it a set thing, a group thing. So it's your group that is owing. How you collect the money should not be the business of the Alumni Association. So going forward, we might have to amend the constitution a little bit. Constitutions can sometimes be restrictive and they make it difficult for you to make quick progress. So once again, sir, we thank you for coming, and please make sure the provost we have souvenirs, sir.
Thank you very much, because most of what is going on that is positive in the College of Medicine is through the auspices of the Alumni Association. So I really doff my hat twice, 3, 4 times to say that. And I will reassure you that the Alumni Association will not die. To make it clear, students' obligation, pay an obligation that we have thought about since I came on board. We've thought about solar, we've talked about buying generators for each block. But we discovered that for us to process students' exams, we need to have regular light in the administrative block. So I engaged the chairman and Professor Ashiru, and we were able to get the sum of 10 million, which will go towards purchasing a 30 kV generator for the admin block and to repair the generator in the students' block. And I must recognize Professor Ashiru for his dynamism and his interest. And I hope we've had the okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You heard what the provost said. I mean,